wave of defections or gale of defections of the political elites who are positioning themselves either for survival or protection or evasion of prosecution cannot be taken seriously by students of the Nigerian politics, because the first question you may ask, if you understand politics very well, is that in defection, it is the people who brought you into power that will motivate you to defect. And they will give you genuine reasons. Oh, we are disappointed in this political party. Oh, we are not satisfied by the failure of either internal democracy, which is basically what usually instigates some of these defections. Oh, we are not satisfied with this leadership. But what we see happening is an array of a generation of politicians who succeeded themselves or handed over batons to each other, some with outstanding corruption cases, having corruption hanging on their necks like the sword of Damocles. And then they line up and said, oh, we have migrated to the ruling party. We are guided very well by the statement of the former governor of Edo State, Senator Shomale, who said, if you defect into the APC, your sins are forgiven. Meaning that if you are a saint, a political saint, you have no business to defect to the APC. But if you have skeletons in your cupboards, you will defect. So these defections is too early for us to assess, but I do know that the people who elected these defectors are intact. Don't forget that they contested primaries with more popular people in the party. They only won because of the weight of the size of their pockets. So if they are leaving the party now, they can compel those popular and credible politicians left behind to live with them. So they will reorganize the people popularly now and to face them. So we are just having a charade that is referred to defections to the ruling party. But then if you have skeletons in your cupboard, you can join or migrate immediately.
So this wave of defection we're seeing, just as I said when it first happened, is nothing to do with an alignment with the center or realignment, if that's what you want to call it. It's got nothing to do with the improvement of the lives of the people these politicians are meant to govern or represent. It's got to do with either they have a case of corruption or pending case of criminality, or they're looking for their own political survivor. It has nothing to do, no bearing with how the state will be run or how they'll represent their constituency. It has got nothing to do with that. So it's safe for us to call the APC the party where criminals run to and their sins are forgiven, in the words of Adem Soshiomole. So Solomon Dalung mentioned a few things here that we need to break down. But if you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. And if you've been following us and you've not subscribed, please do so. And recommend this channel to others. Make sure you watch it to the end. So this idea of we're defecting because there's crisis in one political party and we're carrying our state to the next political party and pledging to give the state to the president doesn't make any sense. The governor only has one vote. In a true democracy, the governor only has one vote. All of the other defectors only have one vote. The people technically, the Nigerian people are technically tired of this current political party. But what we have is a case of let's align ourselves with the center so that it would make the rigging process easier. Imagine that the federal wants to rig the election in a state. They would have to work tirelessly to do that while the state keeps thwarting their effort. So by getting them to be part of the same group and making an agreement that is not godly, that is not for the good of the people. They say, okay, we will let you rig the election. We will let you rig all the federal votes. But the state vote for the governor and the House of Assembly will belong to us. You remember that thing that happened in Rivers State? So suddenly, Bola Tinubu won the presidential votes, and all the state votes then went to the PDP. How cool that magic was, wasn't it? So it's exactly the same plan they have when they make all this alignment, because what they now, Nigerians are now suspecting them. What they're now doing is they want people to defect so that they will say APC won across board. Now, because how do you explain that if you go to Rivers State, Bola Tinubu wins the presidency vote, and then the other vote goes to the PDP, another political party. You go to Bayelsa State, the same thing. You go to Edo State, the same thing. You go to Delta State, the same thing. How do you explain that? The magic must work, isn't it? So that's exactly why this cohesion for the camping and defecting is there. It's not something new. It's just the fact that it's now become so much obvious because more Nigerians are now participating in the electoral processes. That's why it is taking them time to, force the hands of these corrupt politicians. And we know our politicians are corrupt. Our politicians are corrupt. From the president downward, then we know they're corrupt. We know the electoral system is corrupt. We know that the judiciary system is corrupt. We cannot hide it anymore. So it's by calling it out constantly and not keeping quiet, because how many people are you going to arrest in the first place? There's corruption all over our country. So why don't we just call it out? So in essence, what Dalung is saying is they're not decamping because there's an ideological reason for it. They're decamping because of the selfish reasons, because they've stolen and they don't want to give account for the things they did whilst they were in office. In the words of Hakim Baba-Ahmed, then Dati Baba-Ahmed's brother. Because they've stolen and they've committed crimes whilst they're in office. They know that immunity they had is gone. They need to align themselves so they be protected. That's the reason why they do that, for protection purposes, not for the ideology of improving the lives of the people of the state. Can you tell me that the current governor of Delta State's defection will improve the people of Delta State? Or the defection of the former governor, Okowa, will improve the lives of the people? No way. When they took all of their aide-de-camps, all of their special assistants with them, all of them moved to the APC. Can you imagine that? No ideology. Just a group of people who are succeeding themselves. That's why the likes of somebody like Wike can say he made Fubara governor when he only has one vote. Like Dalung mentioned, they use their money, the weight of their money. That's how they get the election. And this is something we have to put a stop to. The same way we did in Abia State, where we have Alex Oti right now. It's exactly what we need to do. We need to come out en masse and defend the vote and make sure we're there to not let them rig the election. And we'll keep conversing and sensitizing and making these publications more intense. Okay. And so your job is also part of it, is to share the content. We need to sensitize as many people as we possibly can. 2 years in a political calendar, it's not a long time. It's a pretty short time. So we got to make it while the sun shines. So as always, if you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. And if you've been following us and you've not yet subscribed, please do so. But let us know what you think about it. What is your thought about what Dalung says? As always, God bless you. Catch you up in the next video. Bye-bye for now.